109 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, when you hear that number, you would usually think Arizona, maybe the Sahara Desert, maybe Dubai, somewhere like that. But no, 109 degrees to 110 degrees Fahrenheit is representing the heat that is blistering through Western Europe right now. Yes, indeed. I kid you not. Places like France, the United Kingdom, Spain, Portugal are in blistering heat in the middle of summertime. And it's not even the middle of summer, it's the beginning for them. And we haven't even reached August. Like, it's still June and it's this hot. So what is August going to look like? Now, if you were to look at the European news stations, they're going to show you photos and videos of French people, United Kingdom citizens, Portuguese citizens, jumping into public swimming areas, places that you're not even supposed to swim in because it's so hot. You know, where places where you have like the statues, then you have like the little water puddle that's under the statue. Yes, they are jumping into those places. Some people, unfortunately, have even lost their lives. May they rest in peace due to this heat wave, but also due to just jumping in the water and drowning. It is a strange, peculiar situation, but maybe it's not that strange and not that peculiar if you are aware of what is coming to the earth, especially to Western nations. Here on Journey With Us, we are a media channel that happens to be a family business. I absolutely love it, okay? Absolutely. A family business that comes to you to report to you worldwide from the continent of Africa, telling you what is written in the Bible. Because at the end of the day, this is a biblical issue. This is a huge issue to where you should start to look at the Bible and say, what does it say in the book of Revelations? There's a part in Revelations, you can quote it down below. I would absolutely love it, the exact chapter and verse, where it talks about vials being on the earth. And one of the vials is a vial of heat that's poured out over 1/3 of the earth. See, this is why I love the Bible, because it's very specific. A lot of people are like, these things will happen everywhere, but Revelation said, I'm just going to pour the vial over 1/3 of the earth, and 1/3 of the people are going to be scorched in this extreme heat. And it looks like that's what's coming to fruition today. Venezuela, by the way, has also just had a massive 7.5 Richter scale earthquake. When's the last time Venezuela has had an earthquake that is that big? Somebody leave a comment down below. Let me know. And if anybody is still assuming that things are not happening on a biblical proportion, well, you just may be in cloud nine. You may be walking with eyes wide shut, because left and right, we are seeing these things happen. While, by the way, we also have the Iran war that's still happening in the Middle East. All of these things are happening simultaneously, just as it was prophesied. And this is exactly why we tell you on this channel, get ready and prepare. Now, when we were in America, Columbus, Ohio in 2019, even a little bit before that, we knew things were coming to the earth. We knew that we heard the sound to prepare, but we were like, okay, should we just like buy nuclear proof tablets and stockpile rice and beans in America and learn how to can food and stay right there in Columbus, Ohio? We prayed on it, thought about it, even began preparing, but something didn't feel quite right. It felt like, this feels like a means to an end to prepare in a nation that is prophesied to decline and be destroyed. So we were like, okay, maybe that isn't the smartest move. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Instead, why don't we go to Africa? Why don't we take our 3 children? That's how many children we had at the time. Now we have double that amount. All praises to the Most High Yah. Why don't we take our 3 children and why don't we just leave? Like, let's just hop on a plane and go. Like, that totally makes sense, because actually in 2015 was the first time we had discussed it as a very young family, but we didn't have a business at the time. We didn't have the resources at the time. Our strategy was not fully set up. So it did take 4 years to get that put together, because we thought we were going to move to Namibia or South Africa. But here we are in Mauritius, Africa. If you don't know what Mauritius is, you should probably look it up. Okay, it's the easiest country to live in Africa. But the reasoning for that is literally what you're seeing today, because the earth is being judged and there are safe places on the earth that will not receive the judgment as hard. Period. It's just, that's what is written. That's what happens in the Bible, and that's how it's going to be. And so you need to be asking at these times where Venezuela 7.5 Richter scale earthquake. The Richter scale, I believe, stops at 8, if I'm remembering geology class correctly from 8th grade. Doesn't the Richter scale stop at 8, or have they had to expand it because there's things happening on the earth that you haven't seen before? Maybe they had to expand it. Maybe it goes to 10 now. I don't know. Somebody this in geology, let me know down below, because I'm not sure. But let's pause on that. Like, Venezuela was captured. Their president was captured by President Trump, Maduro, and that was at the top of the year, January, right? Now in July, or almost coming into July, they have a 7.5 earthquake. I mean, Venezuela's getting hit pretty bad. South America's getting hit pretty bad. Mexico has had some interesting things going on. And if you are a traveler, an expat, an entrepreneur, an investor who happens to be of the faith, happens to see what's coming and understand and discern, I need to maneuver differently in these times, then the signs are adding up. Leave the West altogether. And when we say leave the West, that includes South America and Central America. I know. Yes, I know. This is why we didn't have a desire to go down to those areas, because guess what? They're still the Americas. They're still too close for comfort, at least for our family and for our clients and for our subscribers and for our community that is already all throughout Africa. I mean, I have a friend I was just messaging, and she's like, yeah, we just made it to Namibia. I mean, truly. So you have a huge exodus happening while all of these things are going on. But the fact that you don't pay attention to it, or you don't believe what's happening, or you're like, yeah, 7.5 Richter scale, great, cool. France and Europe are just blistering at 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Just, these are outrageous things. And I know you get so busy in the West that you don't even have time to meditate and understand what's happening and the significance of it. But I deplore you, please sit down. Sit down, take off work for just one day, and ask, okay, list out these things, go discern, pray, and understand, and say, are things happening that have never happened before, or haven't at least happened in a couple thousand years? Are these biblical level events when you see Europe literally on fire? Because I'm gonna tell you, I live in Africa. I live on an island. Now, when you hear African island, you're probably thinking, you can leave your top 3 words down below. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. When you hear African island, give me the top 3 words that come into your head. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What are the top 3 words? Because I'm going to tell you, the reality might not match what you thought an African island would be like. Right now, on the African island I live on, it's winter. Yes. Down here in Eastern Africa, it is winter time. My island is cold. I wake up in the mornings. There's that little, is it condensation that's on the window? Yes, that's the proper term. There's condensation on the window. You can take your hand and you're oh, drawing on the window, great. But it's very cold at night. And when I say very cold for an African island, or for any country in Eastern Africa, very cold is you're getting close to 60 degrees, 65 degrees. That's cold here. Okay, and I'm an Ohio girl. I know how cold it gets in Ohio, okay, just so you know. But that's cold for the continent. I'm while it's cold here, and this is the coldest winter we've had in Mauritius, while it's cold here, Europe's on fire? And people will tell you it's global warming. Yeah, maybe, but it's also prophetic. It's also times are changing. It's also, the signs are going to get so loud in your face that you're not going to be able to ignore it. What happens when because here's the thing with earthquakes, 7.5 Richter scale, great, whatever. That causes a lot of damage. But with earthquakes, one earthquake doesn't just happen and then it's just all right, no more earthquakes will ever happen here again. No, when an earthquake happens, it's kind of contagious for the region. Other areas of the region begin to quake and shift with the tectonic plates that are moving like this and grunting like that. So this won't be the last one for South America or Central America, is what I'm trying to tell you. You're going to see more earthquakes in that region, just scientifically, based on the fact that a huge one is just hit. So you're going to see more in the coming years. And this is also interesting why people who talk to us, our clients in the Mature Adult Intensive in the state of the diaspora, We had produced these programs en masse and served over a couple hundred clients in both programs, across both programs, and our previous one, Dream Life Africa, which is shut down because we elevated it. But we had served clients. We set out to serve people who wanted to leave America and go to Southern Africa or Eastern Africa or Western Africa. But the clients that we attracted had already been outside of America. It's really interesting. I'm going to let you know the data. They had already been outside of America. I should produce an ebook, Ultimate Guide Report on it. Maybe I will the next week or so. They were in Mexico, Belize, Thailand, Japan. They had been to Korea. These were well-traveled people. They weren't first-time travelers. Some were, but a good chunk of them, maybe 40, 50, 60%, had lived in other areas of the world. But they're like, it's not feeling stable here. I think I need to go to the African islands. Something's like telling me like a Cape Verde, a Mauritius, a Zanzibar. Something's telling me I want to be near the island. Something's telling me I need to go at least to the continent and be in proximity to it. And that, I'll let you decide what you think that is. Because these are people that had lived in Japan, lived in Belize, lived in Brazil, have clients in my marketing agency. They have lived in Panama and live in Panama, have businesses in Brazil. But people are looking at the times differently. But one thing is for sure, people are fleeing America. People are fleeing Canada. People are fleeing France. I can't tell you how many French people come to Mauritius. It would quite literally shock you. You would just be so mind blown. And I'm so glad that the grace of Yah, the favor of the Most High Yah, Psalm 67, his face shines on us, allows us to see the movement of the different peoples. To make it even more real, yes, the West is declining. This is not in your head. This is reality. But it's not only your American West is declining. France is declining. Spain is declining. Ireland, the United Kingdom, Germany, all of them, they're all declining. I mean, it's so much so, even Eastern European people are coming out to the African islands. It's so much so, even people who are in corrupt areas in Africa, especially East Africa and Nigeria, because we meet a lot of Nigerians here as well, South Africans as well, are leaving their places to go to safer, more stable economies, places that value family and marriage. Maybe if they feel like their country wasn't safe enough and didn't value those things that they now value, are anti-corrupt. These are things that people are seeking out in the last days. And because they are seeking out those values, they will be fed, okay? Because they're seeking out righteousness, doesn't matter where on earth they're from, they will be fed. Because when you say in your heart, okay, I want to be somewhere that's not corrupt, that's clean, that has a decent society, that's not going to bribe me, but also not going to, unalive my children in school and all these things. Once you have your mindset set on these very heavenly things, then it manifests in the physical. It's really simple mathematics. It's like spiritual mathematics. Like, hey, once you understand and pray and say, okay, I want to be somewhere where the society is not literally decaying, and they're at least trying to keep the 10 Commandments, trying a little bit to keep them. They won't steal from you. They won't unalive you. I want to go somewhere like that. Then, you find what you've been looking for, and you're blessed for it, and you're abundant, and you're loving it, and you're living your dream life, and that's just what it is. I mean, we were just speaking to a family friend. It's actually a previous client from 2021 turned family friend on this channel that lives in Zambia, okay? You make lifelong relationships on this journey, and it's such a good thing because the way that the world is going, you're going to need those relationships. Yes, you're going to need to understand the intel, what's happening in Zambia, what's happening in Namibia, what's happening in Botswana, what's happening with our folks that are in Ghana, our folks that are in Tanzania, our folks that are in Kenya, our folks that are in the Congo, our folks that are in Dubai, our folks that have been in Japan, our folks that have spent time in Brazil and Belize. And if you're like, wow, I'd like to get in some of those rooms with some of those people and understand those demographics and get that intel as well, because you understand getting this intel, I mean, it's impossible unless you have done the groundwork to build that network. I mean, how else would you build a network that big? But we've been able to do it by the grace of Yah over the past 6 going on 7 years abroad. And we're happy to share that with you. That's why we created the State of the Diaspora and the Mature Adult Intensive. Check out the links in the description. Go to www.journeywithusmove.africa.com/services. But the world is at a place where we can't turn back, okay? There's no turning back from here. Like, there's no going back anymore. We're not going to turn back time and be pre-2018 where the world was slightly normal. I mean, even look at smartphones. I was watching a documentary from a lady who lives in France. She's an American, white lady, European American, that moved to France because she's fleeing America to go to France. And she may stay there, but she'll probably flee somewhere else as well. Because France, we gonna cover, look, subscribe and go watch the video I have on France. Maybe I'll start an entire Europe decline playlist because it's just something that's been like something I really want to dig deeper into, okay? But she was talking about how she doesn't use a smartphone. She has like one of the, like, what would you call this? It's not a flip phone, but it's just like, y'all know what I'm talking about? Like the old Blueberry phones that just like digits like that. They had those in Tanzania as well. We lived in Tanzania for quite a while and gave birth to 2 children in that country. 1 child born in Mauritius. Say hi to our baby, Aria. But she's using this phone that, you click the buttons. She got rid of her smartphone. She still has her MacBook. She contacts her family through iMessage on that MacBook because she's trying to kind of go back to the ancient path, which isn't that ancient, but technology has advanced so far to the point that it seems ancient to us because she's in my generation. And she's like, this is what I use because I don't want to be on social media all day. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I want to be away from the smartphone, away from all of that. She wants to be more in person in France, and that's why she moved to France to have a slower pace of living, because even Western Europe gives you a better pace of life and quality of life than America, period. You can hate it, despise it, but that's just the reality. And when I say better, I mean like organic food, 36-hour work weeks, not just being frustrated all day. Of course, they still have their school unalivements, but you're a step better when you go to Europe, and then it's even 10 times better, obviously, when you move to sub-Saharan Africa and you choose the right anti-corrupt country. I'm not saying go to every single country. I didn't tell you to go to Congo. I did not tell you to go to Gabon. I did not tell you to go to Cameroon, okay? I'm saying choose the proper country, like a Senegal, like a Ghana, like a Rwanda, like a Mauritius, like a Kenya. These are all viable places that you can go, even to Tanzania. It won't be easy to be there long term, but it's a great first stop. It's a great place to experience the culture of the continent. Then when you want 10 to 20-year residency, that's when you're like, okay, I'm going to move to Mauritius now so I can have that longevity on the continent without jumping around every 5 seconds to go to different places. But it's quite interesting because humans are waking up, not just humans to read the Bible. I mean, he is pouring out his spirit according to Joel 2 and I believe 27. He says, I will pour out my spirit on all flesh, and your sons and daughters will see dreams and visions and prophecies. It's something when you see basically every nation that exists on planet Earth saying, I'm going to go home, or I'm going to go out of this country, or I'm tired of Canada, I'm tired of America, I'm tired of this Western society, I'm going to go to a slower society so that I can live a better quality of life at a slower pace of living and get back to what really matters. That in itself is judgment in a nutshell. That in itself is prophetic in a nutshell. And you need to see the writing on the wall. I mean, by the way that you're watching this video, I'm sure that you do see the writing on the wall. Congratulations for you, okay? Because at the end of the day, this is crazy. France, Venezuela, it's the entirety of Europe. I implore you to go ahead and just type in heat, blistering wave in Europe, and you're just going to be shocked. You're going to be like, wow, that's heavy. That's a lot, because down here in Africa, it's just not that hot. Shalom, shalom. I'll see you in the next video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Check out the links in the description because that just kind of speechless. But let me know what you think down below.